it's Jazz, and this is Wildlife Matters. Today, we are kicking off a new series of episodes featuring our local wildlife, starting off with the world's largest eagle, the Philippine Eagle. Also because it's Philippine Eagle Week. The Philippine Eagle is a huge bird of prey, and if you don't know what that is, a bird of prey is a large bird, also called a raptor, which feeds on smaller birds and other animals. The Philippine eagle is so big, it's actually considered not just one of the largest, but also one of the most powerful forest raptors in the world. Standing 3 feet high with a wingspan of 7 feet, blue-gray eyes, and powerful sharp talons. How majestic is that? And it can only be seen in 4 islands in the Philippines. We were able to get in touch with people from the Philippine Eagle Foundation to give us more of an insight about this majestic bird.
Unfortunately, we only have about 400 pairs left throughout the country, and it only has about 1,000 individuals, which says it's near extinction.
Because of shooting and deforestation, their numbers have rapidly declined, and they are now listed as critically endangered. Deforestation is such a huge threat to Philippine eagles, not just because they lose their homes, but also because it puts them in danger. Without forests, they need to go farther and search for food or prey items, and they often end up in places with human settlement or livestock, which often results in them being shot dead.
Eagles get trapped, they get shot at, and we're finding out that more than nearly 70% of the young do not survive to adulthood. We suspect because these birds are found in very remote areas, these shootings and trappings are basically underreported. So many of them don't reach adulthood. The danger with scenario is that if this keeps going on, there will be new birds to replace aging breeding populations. There's no clear reason why you should shoot. It's not a good food source. No, walang clear motivation, except we think that because people possess guns, they see a large bird flying over them and try to shoot it. In one case, we rescued a bird which had about 11 pellets embedded in its body.
Every year, at least one Philippine eagle is shot dead because of this. We also have to take into consideration that the Philippine eagle takes a long time to reproduce. You have to wait for them to grow from 5 to 7 years old for them to actually be mature enough to mate. How hard is it to breed Philippine eagles?
Well, in captive propagation, it's difficult to breed eagles. First, because they mature very slowly. It takes 5 to 7 years for eagles to mature. Even then, don't become really productive until they reach about 10 to 11 years old. In addition to that, they're very territorial. So if you do that, they'll probably kill each other. Also, the eagles have a breeding season, so they don't mate throughout the year.
And they lay only 1 egg every 2 years. So it takes 2 years to produce a single Philippine eagle chick. So just imagine how long it actually takes to grow their population. Thankfully, there are people dedicated in saving the Philippine eagle. The Philippine Eagle Foundation has been working hard in making sure that our generation and the future generations will live in a world where the Philippine eagle exists.
Can you explain a little bit of what the Philippine Eagle Foundation does?
We're basically a breeding facility and also rehabilitation center for our country's national bird. We have like forest guards, our communities, our IPs. We include them into this process of, again, spreading that awareness, increasing that education towards people around about the natural wildlife. And so protecting it also protects our future. So we got the captive breeding program, for which I'm part of. So we handle all of the animal care. We try to breed the Philippine eagles in captivity, but then we also have our conservation research program. So they're the ones that go out in the field, collect all the data about the wild animals for wild Philippine eagles, and they also work with the local IPs in those communities and forest guards to help protect the areas. And then we got our conservation education program. Then we have our development communications team that handles all the PR. So yeah, so we have conservation breeding, we have conservation education, conservation research, and our communications team.
Through research and conservation, they have done a tremendous amount of work and were even able to successfully produce the first artificially inseminated Philippine eagle known as Pag-asa.
Can you tell me more about that? So in the wild, it takes 2 years to produce one egg, right? Then in conservation breeding, you take one egg and then it's gonna make the eagle think na, oh, wala pa akong egg, so I need to breed again. Is it like that?
Yeah, it thinks basically that it lost it. And so it's induced to propagate and reproduce and try to raise another young during that season, making them produce 2 eggs in a year. So they're breeding very well. Ang problem really is yung other factors that affect declines in population.
Moana, what led you to become involved in working with Philippine Eagles?
Basically, I started off with volunteering at the Eagle Center back in 2017, and I had already had a passion for wildlife, of course. And so, and also monkeys, because my background is with primates. And so, when I entered the Philippine Eagle Foundation, they signed me to the captive breeding department. And so that kind of like sparked my interest to kind of stay longer and learn more about raptor species.
What was it like when you first saw or got into close contact with the Philippine Eagle?
The first time was when I visited with my mother when we first came to the Philippines, and we came to Davao, and then we came in just as visitors, as guests, and I was like, oh wow, that's a huge eagle. And so little did I know that I would be able to hold one and then I'll train one eventually. And so it was, yeah, at first they're huge when you first see them up front. They're really cool. And then I got to take a picture with the keeper and the eagle at the time. And then now I treasure that photo because that was literally the first interaction with seeing one up front.
So what's it like working with it, and can you describe what it's like to bond with a Philippine Eagle?
I have 2 Philippine eagles under my care right now. And so there's also kind of like a different bonding process, if you want to call it, we call it imprinting. So I started with Sina when he was about 1 year old, turning 2. So we have a category kind of thing, depending on what program the bird goes into. So whether it's going to be for release, whether it's going to be part of our captive breeding stock, or a natural pair. So I just slowly introduce myself to the bird through just allowing the bird to see me at first before entering his enclosure, and then eventually entering the enclosure with food and putting the food on like the food platform. And so the bird starting to associate that person with the food, right? And so then that's like positive for them. And then eventually the bird will, they get kind of more curious, and then I would stay in the enclosure while he ate the food, and then progress towards having the bird come up towards me, and then start to eat the food off my palpable glove. And so, and then that would just kind of continue to reinforce the bond until he was able to come out of his enclosure, and then we place him on stumps or like a bow perch to like that's part of like the training process with raptors to have them on the farm. And then it just continues like that throughout the years. But with Fighter, which is a different Philippine Eagle of mine, he was already an adult. Fighter, basically, if you don't know Fighter's story, when he came in, he was still a juvenile. And then in order to save his life, they had to amputate his leg because he was shot in the wild. However, because of his disability, he's also not able to fly, and also would not be able to perform the right like mating rituals and like fur collection, and it's also difficult for him to mate. And if you put him with another female eagle and they attack, Fighter would definitely get hurt. In 2017 as well, I was assigned Fighter kind of thing, just to kind of see him. And then Fighter kind of, in a sense, took a liking to me. And so we started to bond to me and we started to vocalize mating calls whenever it entered the cage. And so then we kind of put him into our like imprinting breeding program. So he's like bonded to me, and he would see me as his surrogate. So that's where he's at right now.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
2 reasons why we need to conserve the Philippine eagle is because the Philippine eagle is at the top of the food chain. So that means it's very important in preserving the balance of life. Without predators like the Philippine eagle, other species will overpopulate. And that will cause a terrible ripple effect on other animals, including us.
Well, the extinction of the Philippine eagle is clearly dangerous for our forest ecosystem. We have no other large predator to balance and maintain the ecosystem.
We need predators like the Philippine eagle to keep our forest ecosystems in balance. Number 2, for our culture. The Philippine eagle is the pride of the Philippines. Such a rare and majestic bird can only be found here in our country. I mean, what would it say about us if we allowed this national treasure to be wiped off the planet for good? So how can we help in saving the Philippine eagle?
Honestly, through awareness, through education, just getting to know your Philippine wildlife.
We need to take pride in our national icon and spread the word. Let people know that you know about the plight of this species and what it means for the country. People in the cities unfortunately don't have the chance to meet the eagle in person. And that's why they don't natin masyado binavalue yung significance niya and role niya sa forest ecosystem. By saving the Philippine eagle, we save large natural areas. Yung mga natural areas na ito, ang basis rin ng why we have safe and clean water. Nagko-control ng erosion for our farmers, for our seas. So it's important for our people to let their politicians know, let their leaders know that they care about the Philippine eagle, so that these politicians also will in turn provide appropriate policies and appropriate investment to save not only the Philippine eagle but the forest ecosystem in general.
Yeah, so if you'd like to donate and support our cause and help our animals here at the center and also our Philippine eagles in the wild, so they can do donations through our website at PhilippineEagleFoundation.org or go through any one of our channels through our GoFundMes or just visit our different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that you can find the links to donate.
And of course, as I always say, let's continue this conversation. Share this information with your friends because this is important. Because every piece of wildlife matters.